Hello, everyone. This is me, Habib. Welcome to my podcast, MauriPod. And today I'm going to talk about my experience with English. So first of all, before I get to it, please subscribe to my channel and help me in any way possible, because this means a lot for me. And I promise you to provide more fruitful and more useful content down the road, inshallah. Okay, so without any further, let's get to it. My story with English. I want to share my story because it is very important to people know about it, and so they can maybe learn something. So I started learning English a really long time ago. I would say probably 7 or 8 years ago. I started off when I was first year in my high school. When in my primary, no, not my in middle school. I started off by watching movies. So I started watching movies with my so at that time with my sister. We both started watching TV at the same time, and so that's when we were like helping each other. We would the same time we're watching TV, we're watching, I was NBC2, NBC4, NBC Max, Fox Movies, those old channels. And you have, their Arabic subtitles. And we would watch them on daily basis. And as we watched them, we started we started processing and inputting a lot of vocabulary and a lot of sentences and a lot of expressions, things of that nature. So we used to compete with each other and like to sort of know who knows most words. So we would do that kind of competition sometime. Then at one point, my sister quitted it for some religious reasons or whatever. Then after that, she regretted it. Anyway, so I continued down this road, and and that really helped me to subconsciously learn and input so much information. After that, technology came up with phones. So first of all, I started with a button phone, just like a flip phone or button phones, those old phones. And then I remember first when internet came out, that was with Mauritani SIM card. Then I started Googling. Sometime I Google some words. I Google some, like texts, some lessons, things of that nature. Uh, then, well, luckily we got smartphones, and my first smartphone was M8, the one that Then I started, like downloading English apps, listening to like watching English videos, along with movies and things of that nature. So that really helped me to keep inputting a lot of things. What I was doing with movies is that every time I would watch a movie, I'm intentionally alert, like I'm intentionally conscious that hey, I wanna watch a movie because like it's thrilling and it's exciting, but also I want to learn something. So I had that target and that goal in my mind. So I would have a book, a notebook, and I would jot down I would write down words that I don't know or sentences that seems interesting. So I'll write those things down. That's one of the things that I did almost every time I watch a movie. So I ended up with a lot of notebooks filled of words and meanings and things of that nature. Sometimes it was hard for me to review all of them. So at the end of the day, I just kept, you know, taking those books out, throwing them out, you know. So I think that really subconsciously helped me. I was not maybe conscious that I'm gaining anything, but in fact, I was. So yeah, back to smartphones. So I really went on like on YouTube on almost every single channel, Ingvid channel, English with lazy, English with, and English with, almost every single channel I went there. Also English websites and English apps, idiom apps, phrasal verb apps, everything almost. Uh, but one of the things that I think kind of slowed me down of really progressing was the fact that I did not have anyone to talk to. So one of the things that I was doing back then is talking with myself. I would talk with myself on a daily basis in my own room. I would enter my own room and just like switch off the light and just talk with myself and imagine some situations and just keep ranting on some different topics. That really helped me, and I did not think at any moment that I was crazy. So that's something I really advise. So the lack of real in-person practice, that was what I really, what like, let's say, that's what I would need to really help me. And so at in my first year at like baccalaureate, that's when I found people that speak English, and I started practicing. That really, really helped me. I had to take initiative and be, I would say, sort of courageous to go there and initiate conversations with other people who happen to learn to speak English. Then my first year at the university was actually the start of a continuous daily basis uh, practice that I had, because I had the opportunity to go to this Institute of Languages where I found a good environment to practice English and also French, and also I had the opportunity at the simultaneously at the same time with this center named the Hub, who's runs by Americans, taught by Americans. What I had, like, it just fell into place my first year at the university. I got the institute, and I got also the center, so I would go to the center and the institute. So that what really helped me to put everything I've learned into practice. So yeah, that's, I guess, pretty much all of it. And I would say that it is this is what really helped me to really practice. Uh, back then, like, the accent really meant a lot for me. First of all, like we know that what's important at the end of the day is someone to speak as clear as possible. He has to be understood. Whatever he's communicating has to be, you know, clear, so it can be decoded from the receiver. That's the point. But also, like, the accent for me really meant a lot. I've always wanted to have some sort of an American accent, even if I could fake it, whatever. And I really tried. At one point, I never thought that I would try to improve my accent, but I think when I started watching American accent training videos on YouTube, such as English with Rachel. Rachel is a great, native speaker who teaches American accent. She's a great teacher. And I would also read some American accent training books. So that really, really helped me at the end of the day to understand how Americans speak and how they do the liaisons and the combinations, and and like the phonetic of the American accent and the phonology of it. So that really helped me to sort of improve drastically. So yeah. So from my experience, I think if there is one thing that I think that it will help a lot from my experience, is listening. Listening is something that sometimes you think that you're not improving, but in reality, without knowing, you are improving. Sometimes it takes some time. You need to listen for months, maybe years, and then on the day, and then eventually you'll be like, oh, I'm able to do and do. I'm able to understand. That's the fruit of listening. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for listening. This is a 10-minute podcast. I get people complaining about my 16-minute podcast because it's going to be boring and I'm not yet famous. So let's leave it at that. Thank you so much, and ciao.